There are few things more important in a game of chess than the king. There are two goals for chess you should always have in the back of your mind. 1. Protect your king, and 2. Checkmate your opponent's king. So in today's video, we're going to look at the rules of chess. We're going to talk about the difference between check and checkmate, a stalemate, and a draw. If you stay to the end of the video, you will see 3 ways to always get out of check that you should keep your eyes open for. Class is in session. As a beginner new to chess, there are a few things you need to know when it comes to the rules of chess. How to play chess and how to win chess. So let's talk about it and hopefully help you win your first game a lot quicker than I won my first game. First things first, you set up the chessboard. After the chessboard is set up, the player with the white or the lighter pieces makes their move first. After white has made their move, the player with the black or the darker pieces makes a move. Each player continues to make a move, moving one piece at a time until checkmate has been declared by one side. Once checkmate has been declared, the person who declared checkmate is the winner. How to win at chess. The purpose or goal of chess is to checkmate your opponent's king. According to Merriam-Webster, the dictionary definition, the definition of checkmate means to literally put the king in a position where they are unable to escape. That is what checkmate is all about, putting the king in a position where they cannot get out of check. See, to check a king means to attack a king. To checkmate a king means to attack and also leave them in a position where they can't escape said attack. Checking the king. When you or your opponent's king is under attack, check has to be said by the person doing the attacking. Saying check lets your opponent know that their king is under attack and that they have to move the king out of danger. The 3 outcomes here that I'm referring to are the 3 ways to get your king out of check that you should always be looking for that I mentioned in the beginning of this video. And we're going to talk about them right now. Option number 1, move the king out of the way of the attack. In this example right here, what we're going to do is we're going to put the queen here. This queen is putting this king in check. Well, let's look at the option the king has to escape the attack. So the king can go to any open square. The king cannot go here or here because those squares are occupied by its own pieces. This right here, this square, while the square is open for the king to go to, the king cannot really go to that square because the queen is still attacking that square and its whole diagonal. So the king moving to this square right here doesn't get the king out of danger. The king can move to this square though. This square, there's nothing attacking that square. So, or if the king wanted to move to this square, the king could also move to that square because there's also nothing attacking the king on that square. Option number 2, take the piece attacking you. So in this example, this bishop right here is choosing to attack or check the king. The king has a few options here. The king could decide to move out of danger, which they would move to one of 2 of these squares. Or if the piece attacking the king is unprotected, then the king could just simply take that piece. So in this case, there is nothing protecting this bishop. This bishop is on its own little island, attacking the king by its lonesome. So the king can take this bishop. Now, the king is no longer in danger. In this instance, the king is still being attacked by the bishop. However, the king can't take the bishop because this bishop is being protected by this pawn. Because remember, pieces protect the same way they attack. So this pawn protects pieces that are diagonally on the side. So what the king would have to do is the king would have to move to a square that is free from danger. So since pieces protect the way they attack, pieces also control the squares in front of them the same way they attack. So this square right here is not an option for the king, because the king would be putting itself in danger because pawns attack diagonally. And that means the king will be putting itself in check. The king is not allowed under any circumstances to put itself in check. So the only option the king would have in this instance is to move to this square. Option number 3, block the attack with another piece. In this example, we can see that this bishop right here is checking the king. So the king has several options here. So as we have been progressing through these examples, we always check to see what options the king have. So can the king move to a square and get out of the attack? Yes, the king has these options. So, but the king might not want to do that. The king might be in a good position where they just want to hold their position. Okay. So if the king can't doesn't want to move to a square that's not under attack, well, maybe the king could just take the piece attacking it. The bishop here can attack the king from this far, but the king cannot attack the bishop from this far, because the king, again, only attacks squares right in front of it. So if the bishop was right here, like in our last example, the king could just easily take that. So what option do we have left? We will block the attack of check. This bishop is attacking black's king. So black can choose to block that attack by this bishop by moving this bishop right here in front of it. Now this bishop is attacking this bishop. So if white's bishop wants to take black's bishop, putting the king in check, now the king has the option to take that bishop, because that bishop was unprotected. The big difference here between check and checkmate is that when a king is checkmated, they are in check, but they can't get out of check. The 3 ways we just looked at are the only 3 ways that you can possibly get out of check. If your opponent calls check and none of those 3 ways help your king escape check, you are checkmated. When you or your opponent calls check, see if you can get out of check by 1, moving out of check, 2, taking the piece that is doing the checking, or 3, blocking the check. Checkmate is declared when none of those situations apply to the king under attack. If the king cannot escape, he is dead. And that, my friends, is how you play chess. But there's still more to learn.